Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Bitcoin at 41.6, Ethereum holding right around 3,000, XRP is up about 1.5% on the day at 67 cents. You can see Luna and Dot rounding out the top 10. And they had flipped positions briefly, but now have flipped back. You can see Doge, Avalanche out of the top 10. Shiba Inu up about 2% today. XRP and Shiba Inu are the two biggest gainers in your top 15 at this point in the day. Now, let's take a quick look at what happened this week. So, if you go to the channel page, you can see all of the most recent videos. Going back to last Sunday, we talked about the SEC and the meaning of "we" and took a look at the article from Rosalind Layton. We had some policy updates throughout the week with the idea that we should be voting out the people that are not going to be advocating for crypto. And there was some additional information we talked about there. We talked about the removal of that one provision that was going to be harmful to crypto holders from the ACA. We had the Wall Street Journal feature the SEC versus Ripple case not once but twice, both in the print version of the Wall Street Journal and online, and then later in the week in their podcast. The Senate will be having a hearing talking about crypto with the head of the CFTC right now. And then they questioned some of the suitability concerns with Bitcoin as an asset for a spot ETF. Again, those continue to be delayed. And then, of course, what we're going to look at today, and we talked about in detail, Judge Torres came in. She denied a larceny motion, allowed the SIR reply from Ripple. Additional documents were unsealed. We looked at a Garlinghouse email to the employees of Ripple, as well as the Garlinghouse subpoena from the SEC. Today we'll look at the Larson email thread in more detail. I know a couple of other channels have talked about it now since I didn't have a video yesterday when I was traveling. So you make sure to check out their perspectives as well. Jeremy Hogan had a great video where he talked about all of the documents here. It's already got over 100,000 views, so of course, good information there. You can see 10,000 likes. Great video. He talks about the real nature of this evidence and how it can apply. So again, check out his video as well. I'll link it down below so you can see his take on it. And it's a short one, under 12 minutes, so you can get through it pretty quick. As a reminder, today the blockchain backer is on the chain. He'll have that interview at 5 p.m. my time here, so in about 6 hours from the time I'm recording this. Of course, you can always go back and watch it after it posts, but it will be on live later this afternoon. Again, today is Sunday, February the 6th. Now, just a quick reminder, Voyager has published their February rewards rates. Not too much change here. You can see that DOT is still at its 12% that it's been at. VGX, the Voyager token, still at 7%, and of course USDC 9% on your USDC if you hold it with Voyager. You can see the average balance minimums that are posted here as well. Pretty low threshold, so only 100 for your average monthly balance. But remember, if you only have money in your account for half the month, then you have to, of course, increase that so that it is for the average for the month. So just average it out and you can get there. I'll link it down in the video description. $25 in free Bitcoin when you deposit and trade $100. In the news, we already talked about this, and again, a big thank you to James K. Filan for getting this posted for us. I'll link his thread in the description down below, but also this is where you can see the document links. So we'll go right into the Larson email thread here. Again, this was Unsealed. It's about 6 pages here, but of course there's some pretty wide margins, and the first page is the filed under seal. So this is an email thread to this Carlos, who was an early purchaser of XRP. He had some questions, and Chris Larson actually did respond to him. So let's take a look at what he has to say, and he apologizes in his email for the odd English not being his native language, so do just realize that there's going to be a few sentences that might not be structured the way that you might write it, so just bear that in mind, but we'll go through it quickly. He's asking questions and trying to get some answers from Larson himself, and Larson does indeed reply. He says, Mr. Larson, would like to say that I'm an early investor in XRP, bought my stack in 2014, found out about Ripple, and was the only way I could invest in a project that is so amazing. I think Ripple only had a dozen employees at the time, have been following Ripple ever since on a daily basis. Always searching things and wanting to learn more about the company and about XRP. Always thought XRP value had a lot of potential. Still think so. Now I understand that by the time it was maybe a little overvalued, and right now after 3+ years is completely undervalued. With all Ripple accomplished as a company, it's incredible that, for instance, Ethereum has a higher market cap than XRP. Of course, that frustration gets on your nerves about that. Ripple made so much progress, and still anyone can right now buy more XRP than me with what I invested in 2014, around 30,000 euros. Nevertheless, I still think XRP still has its chance. Not writing to ask for investment advice of any kind, just to understand your view on XRP. I was awake for hours during Judd's drama, the $1 million sell wall, and other times of high volatility. Now volatility is dead. Every time there's some buying, some dozens of millions XRPs are transferred to a wallet, and that wallet kills any rally and keeps selling for weeks, months, until, and then it shows here about half a cent. Can't understand why that happens, but always happened in the past 3 years. I understand that founders hold big amounts and Ripple still holds 63 billion, a large supply out there, but fundamentals should prevail on top of all that is wrong about XRP in my opinion. But they don't. It's my perception that Ripple has made very little for XRP in the past years, probably had some agreement with other entity to do that and couldn't. But now I get excited again with Miguel Valles' entry on the team. Bitstamp was announced, and the complete opposite happened. No volume on Bitstamp, and almost all the volume from RCL is gone. Can't remember volumes like this in RCL, maybe in early 2014 only. When you announced that you would drop from being Ripple CEO, that was the first red flag for me. Always thought to myself that if you drop from CEO, or David Schwartz from chief cryptographer, that would terminate my investment in XRP, but you're still connected to the company. I decided to write you this email. Maybe it's just to get this off my chest before selling. In 2014, I sold all my stocks and investments to be on XRP with a good position, but would thought that in 2017, XRP would have a new and strong bottom around 2 to 3 cents. It didn't, and now after all the work, Still, anyone can invest at a very cheap price. Hope XRP still has a chance because there is no doubt in my mind that Ripple sure has one. On and on. Some more nice words there. So now we'll get to the Larson reply, and this is where we'll see our most interesting part, I think. So again, this reply is coming in 2017 in February. Hello, Carlos. Thanks very much for writing. I appreciate your comments and early participation in blockchain and digital currencies. To your question, I've actually never been more excited about the prospects both for blockchain to be in the wiring for the Internet of Value, specifically Ripple's solution of Ripple Connect and ILP Interledger Protocol, and digital assets to provide fundamentally new use cases that only a digital thing of value without a counterparty can serve. We believe XRP is uniquely valuable in the new world we're entering as a bridge currency to initially eliminate inefficiencies and the way payment providers finance payment flows, see white paper here. Thus, the strategy of focusing on connecting banks serves both emerging trends. The more banks that connect through RippleNet and ILP, the more demand we should see for XRP as an asset to reduce liquidity costs. I understand your concerns around the current state of volume flows. Now, pausing a sec, this might be where the SEC tries to get them because he's talking about maybe potential uses for XRP, but again, he's only talking in a fact-based way, so this doesn't really seem like it can be used by the SEC too strongly. He says here that we believe XRP is undervalued, but he's not saying a certain value it could or should get to. And when he talks about connecting banks and that increasing demand, well, that's a logical sentiment that if you increase your partnerships, your supply of XRP is fixed in the total supply, then the demand would just increase, and with more use, it would have an increase in demand. So nothing really meaty there, I don't think, for the SEC to use against Larson and Ripple. Now he continues here. Frankly, the entire industry is really in the earliest stages of development. Most volume in the space is speculation in advance of enterprise and eventually customer flows, but conditions are changing rapidly. Where banks were skeptical of digital assets or digital asset uses just a year ago, there's now wide acceptance that real efficiencies will be realized. The addition of Miguel is in fact a big milestone, and the volumes in the market are in the process of market makers realigning to the enterprise use case. Stay tuned. So that was February 6th. Now on February 18th, a response. Hi, Mr. Larson, says Carlos. Sorry to send another email, but as I said, on top of everything related to XRP and Ripple, today XRP is down or going down 10%. It just fell off. So I was digging around and found out who's selling, and he's got a link here. I know that it's a free market and you guys don't control the price, and if someone wants to sell, there's nothing you can do about it. The reason I send you this email is because the person who is selling is Vinny. Again, maybe he bought this XRP before any agreement and maybe he is allowed to sell them, but this is not a very good sign if an employee can sell 100 million at this level, crashing the price. Not good publicity, I think. And then Chris says, thank you for the email, Carlos. This is news to me and I'm looking into it. Separately, I've also asked Miguel to reach out to you on what he's focused on. Thanks again. Now, this is another response. So this is way into the future now, June 27th, 2019. So you can see a full 2.5 years have passed since they've had another conversation, or at least another one recorded here. Hi, Mr. Larson was looking for this past email we exchanged back then. Sorry to reach out again, but like I sent the first email about Vinny's sell-off, I decided to ask you about the sales of your wallet. I'm here since 2014 supporting Ripple and XRP, still am, but was wondering if the sales from that wallet that I think belongs to you and Ripple Works are programmatic or part of some sale plan and for a scheduled time. I know XRP market nowadays is much more liquid than back in 2014, but these funds are traced to multiple exchanges. Will this wallet continue to sell? Ripple sells a lot of XRP, and that's okay because they're growing their brand and exposure in this space and ultimately will be appreciating XRP. Now that is maybe something the SEC will try and glean on, is this individual sentiment, who the SEC may try and argue is a reasonable person, is saying that Ripple will appreciate XRP, meaning will make its price go up in value. Now that is where I think the danger is in this email thread, and maybe that's been missed in some of the other conversations. But if this person who's an early investor or purchaser of XRP is under the mindset that Ripple will be creating exposure for XRP and will drive the price, that could be a problem. Of course, XRP can't go up with all this selling, but I wondered if all this selling will continue and for how long. Jed's years in Ripple selling a lot every month almost obliterate any chance for XRP to hit a stable and higher price that would be totally deserved for all Ripple have been accomplishing this past years. Okay, again, not native language, so his wording is a little bit difficult to understand if you're just trying to read through it, so we'll try to talk through it. I know I sound like I'm only interested in my investment in XRP, but that really is not true. Just trying to understand why doesn't Ripple let XRP emerge a little within all this. That should be worthless tokens out there, and even letting XRP to behave worse than most for so many time. So again, this is where the concern I would have is this individual is having the idea or mindset that the purchases and sales by Ripple are really driving the XRP price. And when you see that correlation there, then this kind of bolsters that SEC argument that these investors at least believe there was some sort of agreement with Ripple or some sort of counterparty obligation that Ripple should be controlling or influencing the price at least. He continues, I don't know if it's possible to get an honest opinion on this from you, but I guess I needed to try to understand the mechanics of this that I think are overlapping on the good funding it obviously does for the company. Competition is getting here for XRP and Ripple, and it's looking like Ripple won't have 2 to 3 more years to prove XRP above the rest. Just my opinion. If you can't say anything about this, that's okay too. Thanks in advance, and again, apologies for the English. Okay, so this is the final communication that we have from Larson. So this is on 6/30. So only a couple days later, he writes back to him on what would have been the weekend and says, Hi Carlos, thanks for the email and hope you're doing great. On this end, we've never been more excited by developments in the blockchain space. The industry continues to mature, and institutions are increasingly seeing these technologies as essential to the future of finance. The FB announcement certainly helped underscore this. If one of the largest communities on Earth sees this as a key to their future, it becomes a huge validation point and motivator to both incumbents and fintechs. From Ripple's perspective, we couldn't be more excited about cross-border payments using blockchain and digital assets like XRP over SWIFT. The recent MoneyGram announcement is a great opportunity of incumbents agreeing with our vision. Our view is to grow at full speed into these huge opportunities. We're hiring, blah, blah. One of the advantages of the XRP ecosystem is that it doesn't require mining to validate transactions. This gives the XRP ecosystem a huge advantage over wasteful and uneconomical proof-of-work ecosystems, where seigniorage is wasted on electricity and miners rather than building the ecosystem. As such, XRP resources, including those at Ripple, Coil, which just announced an investment in Imgur, founders, and many other large holders, can be used to build the ecosystem, new companies, new verticals, teams, developers, social impact projects, etc. In this way, XRP sales should be seen equivalent to proof-of-work sales by miners, except that the former is constructive while mining is wasteful. On founder sales, there is a widely held view that programmatic selling is most constructive, i.e. selling stays at a set rate consistently. There is also a widely held view that over time, it's better to have widely held assets. So continued reduction of Ripple and founder holdings is likely constructive as well. For example, when Bitcoin distributed through mining exceeded 50% of the 21 million limit years ago, it was considered constructive. I hope that's helpful to your question. Note that Chris is very constructed in this response, in that he's not saying that Ripple's behavior is influencing the market, talking about programmatic selling, talking about the distribution of having more XRP in the marketplace among a variety of different holders is better for the overall ecosystem. He doesn't talk very much about price, which is good, because had he, then maybe it would lend additional credence from the SEC to make their argument, but he's not trying to get sucked into this, because I think he's had good counsel. The problem here, though, again, comes in with this individual thinking that XRP and Ripple are closely tied, and specifically with price, because this is the argument the SEC's tried to make, that XRP is a security in Ripple. And now if they have an example of an investor who is expressing a similar sentiment.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.